Every year, people are seriously injured or killed in ATV accidents in Alberta. If you're operating an ATV, you should make sure that you know how to do it. You have to be a certain age. There's very strict rules about where you can operate ATVs, how you can operate ATVs, to make sure it's done safely. If you own an ATV, you also have an obligation to make sure that the person who's driving it knows what they're doing and can do it safely. When it comes to ATV accidents, there may be compensation available. People driving ATVs should have insurance, and that insurance should respond if there's an accident. In order to succeed in an ATV accident, generally you have to prove that somebody else caused your injury, at least in part. And if so, you can seek compensation for all parts of that injury. You can seek compensation for pain and suffering. If you've lost income or you're less able to work, you can seek compensation for income loss. You can also seek compensation for your medical expenses. Before you settle an ATV claim, it's important to think about your future. You should not just be thinking about how you're doing now. You need to know what your future holds. Are your injuries going to get worse? Are you going to struggle with working? Are you going to have to retire early? If we're talking about neck or back injuries, is that going to lead to arthritis? If you have a fracture in a joint like a knee, a hip, a shoulder, an elbow, we know those fractures can lead to post-traumatic arthritis, which can lead to joint replacement and in some cases even fusion. So don't just think about now. Make sure you know your injury and the potential consequences to ensure you get fair compensation. When you hire an ATV lawyer, it's their job to make sure that they understand how this accident happened. Who's at fault? What evidence is there? To make sure that evidence is preserved so that your rights are protected. Also to understand what your injuries are and how they're going to develop over time. Because you can only settle your case once, it needs to be the right number for you and your family. For more information on ATV accidents, call Preszler Law.